Tonight at 10, supermarket shooting in Royal Palm Beach. A woman and her grandson shot and killed. We're live.
A North Miami Beach police officer now struggling to survive after a driver runs him down.
Ceiling collapse. Details about a strip mall getting shut down.
Flight fight, the emergency in the air that forced a jet to the ground.
Good evening, I'm Louis Aguirre.
And I'm Eden Shekel. The news at 10 is next.
From WPLG, Local 10 News on WSFL starts right now.
And we begin tonight. An officer now clinging to life after a suspect ran him down with her car and then tried to drive off.
Yeah, that officer first tried to stop her for another alleged hit and run. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live in North Miami Beach with an update. Roy.
Eden and Louis, and unfortunately at last check, that officer was still in serious condition. It has been 9 hours since this all happened, and Biscayne Boulevard does remain shut down. At least the northbound lanes do. Investigators are still out here after they said that woman ran over a North Miami Beach police officer, and as all of this was happening, a resident was watching from his balcony.
There's a cop on the floor. Yeah, and then the suspect right there.
Cell phone video you will only see on Local 10 capturing a North Miami Beach police officer on the ground moments after investigators said he was run over by a woman attempting to flee from a hit-and-run crash.
Well, it's crazy. This is my first time in Miami. I just got here last night, and I can't even leave the building.
Michael Martinez tells me he was on the balcony of his high-rise when he heard several shots fired and started recording on his cell phone. His concern, the officer, who appeared to be seriously injured.
I assumed that he had gotten shot, obviously hearing the gunshots, and then the lady was, being subdued, and the dog was getting at her.
Police Chief Richard Rand telling me his officer was attempting to stop the woman driving this red car after she hit two other vehicles and then drove off, then making no attempt to stop after she ran down that officer.
Shots were fired, K-9 was deployed, and the female was stopped.
Both the suspect and officer taken to Aventura Hospital, and while that woman is in stable condition, a heavy police presence outside the emergency room where that officer is now fighting for his life.
She's trying to run over the cops. She has a deadly weapon, which is the car. So they're in all their rights to do what they got to do.
And as we come back out live, you can see Miami-Dade Fire Rescue now on scene. That suspect vehicle has since been towed away here from this area. But when we spoke with the police chief, he told us that the Florida Department of Law Enforcement was now investigating as they do any officer-involved shooting. We're going to continue to check on the condition of that police officer. As soon as we get updates, we'll be sure to let you know. For now, here in North Miami Beach, Roy Ramos, Local 10 News.
Roy, thank you. Police have made an arrest in a hit and run that killed a man on a scooter early Wednesday morning. 19-year-old Marcus Pradier is accused of leaving the scene of a deadly crash after he allegedly hit a 38-year-old homeless man, now identified as Rolando Rodriguez. Police say Rodriguez was crossing Old Dixie Highway and Southwest 269th Street.
It's unfortunate that, people drive the way that they drive.
Now, according to an arrest report, the investigation led them to Pradier's home, where his father answered the door, telling officers, quote, "I know exactly why you are here. Come in," my son said. He was very scared. Pradier confessed to his involvement in the crash and was taken into custody.
Police making an arrest after a shooting at Aventura Mall.
Some controversy with the State Board of Education.
Coming up, what's been banned from schools across the state.
And a man face-to-face with deputies ends up tossing a 2-month-old baby. This one was all caught on camera.
Light fight in Jacksonville. The battle that erupted when a bridge was lit in pride colors. We're coming back.
You're watching Local 10 News on WSFL with Louis Aguirre and Eden Shekel.
This is my jam.
No critical race theory in Florida's public schools. Today, the State Board of Education approved new guidelines forbidding the teaching of the controversial concept.
The pride colors shining once again on this Jacksonville bridge after the city's transportation authority was told to change the colors back to normal earlier this week. The decision came from the Department of Transportation, which said the colors were out of compliance with the existing permit.
The bridge was scheduled to be lit in rainbow colors all throughout the week in honor of Pride Month, and the city allows several other lighting schemes in honor of different celebrations. So why was this one ordered to be taken down?
The Florida Department of Transportation now admits in an email it has not received requests regarding variances to the lighting colors or sequences on the Acosta Bridge, meaning the state agency that forced the Jacksonville Transportation Authority to pull the pride colors off the bridge Tuesday night has never received a special request to deviate from the pre-approved color schemes. The bridge is often lit up in other colors throughout the year, not on the pre-approved list. But none of these rule breakers were ever questioned by the FDOT until Tuesday night, when the agency says a series of phone call complaints led it to tell JTA to remove the rainbow colors that it planned to shine all week.
I was taken aback by that happening.
State Senator Audrey Gibson says she called the head of the FDOT about why they ordered the lights turned off.
I said, so is that just this time? Because it looks like selective enforcement. No, it's all the time. Okay.
Members of Equality Florida say the blame lies with the man at the top.
The governor has declared war on Florida's LGBT community, and it's not just related to lights. It's related to him signing the first anti-LGBT bill in 24 years in this state.
A spokesperson for Governor Ron DeSantis saying, quote, the governor's office was most definitely not involved in that decision, and it's absurd to think otherwise. His office also saying the permit process will be reevaluated.
And right now, it's unclear who complained about the lights, pushing FDOT to pull the plug on them, or if there were any complaints at all. But for now, the lights are back on, shining bright in honor of Pride Month.
Well, a sinking situation in Mexico.
Coming up, a huge sinkhole has already swallowed a home, and it's only getting worse.
Bicyclists in the buff. It's an annual tradition, and this year, it's back. We'll tell you where.
A local library that was on the cusp of closure now has a new chapter in its future.
And the numbers for today, near 90, though 80s, more common than 90s across our area. Hey, as we head into your weekend, it's getting steamy, and some of those June thunderstorms, they're back in the picture. We'll look at it. Your forecast is next.
Local 10 weather with certified meteorologist Luke Doris. You're watching Local 10 Sports with Will Manso on WSFL.
That's
Huge.
a big
That's
deal.
big.
That shows you just how much he loves his dog.
But the love for his dog is even bigger
even
than
greater. Well, that is all the time that we have for now. But remember, our website, local10.com, is always on, and we're constantly updating all night and day with the very latest headlines.
And for more news tonight, join Nicole Perez and myself right now on Local 10 News with the news at 11. Have a good night.